Okay, cool. Let's begin with our session. Okay, cool. Thank you for the confirmation, Marco. Okay. Let's start with the dollar as usual. So we've got the dollar reject, come back down. So from Monday, those of you that were with us on Monday, let's see where Monday is. Okay, this is Monday, and we were here at 2. So with that candle going forward, that's where we were at on Monday. And I was looking for price on the 4-hour to close above this gap, this one here. Let me go into the 4-hour. This low gap here, that was the opening price, or Friday to Monday opening price gap down. So there was a gap in here, and I was expecting the 4-hour to give us a closure above it, and if we did, then I'll be looking for higher prices. If it didn't, then we'll be looking for lower prices. Yes, I saw oil. We will go on to oil. I saw what it did. I think there was a CPI news, I think at 1:30 on CAD. Right, there was a CPI news on CAD at 1:30. So if you were not aware, then probably would have taken you by surprise. Ooh, what did that do? Yeah, so today's high impact news was on CAD, and it was the CPI news, and it came out positive. So you should look at the calendar. So don't let it surprise you that oil ran up, because we had high impact news on CAD. Okay. Let's go back here. So as I was saying, I was looking for price to close above us, above this gap, and it didn't. If it doesn't, then we're looking for lower prices, and I gave this gap as potential target on the downside. Right, so going forward, that's where I'm expecting dollar to reach to. Today is Wednesday, midweek, so we will get some movement going into from now till Friday. We could see this low taken out and then reach for that gap. If we end up closing above this up candle, then we are not going to do that for now. Maybe we'll go back into the range between this high and that low, and then we'll leave this as a as equal low, and then probably come back down later to sweep it. So if we take out this high, then I'm no longer looking for that. They'll probably go up and then stay in a range, because when it gets up here, when it gets up in here within this last up candle, it will not allow you to continue going up. First of all, you need to battle to go through this gap first. So let's talk about there. So I'm still looking for lower prices on dollar. With that, we've had this trade yesterday from this down candle. From this down candle, and the first target was, there's a level inside this wick. Okay. There's a level inside this wick. That's where I got the first target from, and there's another level up there on the lower time frame. Let's drop down to the lower time frame. Right, so the first one is a closure of this void, or a gap if you want to call it a gap. That's the first target there, and then the second target that I'm expecting on euro is this last up candle, and I think we might get we might get some kind of a sell-off once we get there. And if we do get that sell-off, I'll be looking for potentially to drop down here and give a bigger pullback, or probably take out some people that are still long. So if this continues to go to the second target, I will expect them to come back down and take out some traders that are still long. Okay, so if we do get euro to reach back up again, I think they've engineered high and a lower high, so that's equal height in there. So price will by all means reach for that again, but it will have problem going above this level, and we will probably see a sell-off, and that could take some people out, and then eventually trade it into the next upside objective. So overall, I'm looking for this as upside objective. So there is another gap in here with the last up candle, so that's where I'm expecting ultimately euro to reach for. Okay, it's just finding some weakness in this drop that it had. With pound, it's also having similar, but pound is a bit stronger because we have euro pound dropping. So the best buy will be the British pound. So if you want, then this will be the best buy. I'm looking for the equal high on the daily as long-term target. So short-term wise, we could get a trade above this high, which is that high and that high, equal high. So for short term, that's where it wants to reach for, and then we get this as well as upside objective. Okay, and then we have the equal high. So from where we are now, even if it does give a pullback, I'll still be looking for these as upside objectives. All right, so pound, you're looking for high prices. It's just that on this, trading has been the levels has been, they've not been as clean as I would like to see them, apart from this one, which I mentioned in the morning during our morning session. Apart from this one, the rest has not been clean for me to frame a buy on. I like buying from down candles, so I've not seen any interesting one to key off from apart from this one. So this could lead us to take out that high. Let me check inside this wick and see if there's anything in there. Let's go to the lower time frame, because these levels tend to give problems when price is coming back up. Let's go in the 15 minutes. that one there. We've already been there, so that's no problem then. Actually, let me check it again. Right, we've already been here, so let's look on the lower time frame. I want to make sure that it's free to just go through it. Yeah, I think it's free to go through it. So the next upside objective will be the high. So that equal high will be the next upside objective. So I'm expecting price to reach for that, this and that as equal highs, and then from there we should see the gap on the 4-hour, this one, and then the equal high. So for any pullback, you could look for a back. Pardon me. If we happen to pull back and take out this low, okay, you can use this level, which is a daily down candle. This one, you can use that to frame a trade idea to continue going lower. So if we are to break, let's say this low, okay, then you can frame a trade based on that, because the daily down candle will be stronger than price coming down. Okay, so if we are to break down, use the daily down candle to frame a trade to continue going higher. New Zealand dollar, we've almost got to where I'm expecting price to reach for. This equal high, that's my near-term target, and then above that I'm looking at this as a target as well. But first of all, we need to get above this, so that's what I'm looking for since Monday, and we are almost there. So higher prices on this, we've got about 31 pips. If it happens to retrace deeper, then you can look and use your Fibonacci like this, and then use the 618 to frame a trade idea to come up there again. Okay, if it does pull back there. I personally don't want it to do that. I just want it to run, because people are trying to sell short. You can see from here, from here, from there. It's got an element of Wyckoff in here. I was studying a bit of Wyckoff over the weekend, just weekend gone, and I think it's got elements of Wyckoff in there, which they use. This has the I think this is the buying climax or something like that, BC, and then this will be the UTA. I don't know, I've not studied it fully, but it's got a bit of Wyckoff distribution schematics in here going. But I don't trade that, I'm now learning it, so let's see. But I still want to see this level run, so expect New Zealand to go above that equal high. Aussie dollar, we have equal high in here. Price retraced to the down candle on the daily yesterday. Let's take out, because I was checking the high and the open to see which one is gonna frame the trade off from, and it came to the daily. So I'm expecting it to go back and take out this equal high and fill out this void. So on Aussie dollar, I'm expecting higher prices. Price failed to support the breaker, so I think it's going to go deeper. You can frame a buy based on the optimal trade entry, and then you look for this equal high. If we take out this low, then I think they might come back down lower. I don't want to see that, or I'm not expecting that to happen, but in case they do take out this low, then you look all the way down here, because they might want to take out this low. Okay, but I don't see that, so expect some form of a buy between this high and that low to take out this equal high and to fill in the void on the daily, or the small little gap in here between this high and that low. Okay, that's where I'm expecting price to drop into. Right, so we could get optimal trade entry to run that equal high. I'll be watching it myself. I'll be watching it myself to see if I can get a trade idea to go up there. Dollar CAD is sideways, as I mentioned. It should be group members. I don't, like I said, I don't see this thing dropping. If it's gonna go down, it should go down to what, the down candle on the daily, this one here, right? And we've seen it drop there and then quickly reject. Is it gonna continue going higher? I don't know. For now, I don't know, but I know it's gonna just stay sideways. That is for sure, because dollar is dropping. Okay, so that's not good for this to continue going up, but I don't see it dropping either, because the CAD is not strong. Okay, CAD is not strong, so I don't see it dropping either. We will look at oil in a second. Actually think you guys are creaming for oil. Let's look at oil. Let's remove this. So oil, if you were here on Monday, I gave a sell idea here. Last week Wednesday we had a sell from here, that up candle all the way down, but I was expecting it to come and take out this low. Okay, so last week I was expecting oil to sell off to take out this low. It didn't get there and it bounced off. And then Monday I gave another sell on the 15 minutes. Here. On the 15 minutes here to come back down and take out this. Right, it almost did, but it didn't quite get here. And we've seen the price run out. The context I have right now is this high and this high. So I want you to understand where this high is coming from. This high is a previous month high. Okay, this low is a previous month low. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday about these levels. Okay, we did take out previous month low, and then price rejected and ran up, and then it came back up here and took out previous month high, and then it rejected. So the fact that it rejected, I want to see price go back down here to rebalance this gap and then probably go up. So that was the context behind the sell idea I gave since last week Wednesday. So now price didn't do that and it's rejecting. I don't want to see it close above this high. Okay, I don't want to see it close above this high, because if it does, then it means that they don't want to go down. They'll probably go higher. All right, if it doesn't close above it today, then I'll look for reasons to go short, because they are resisting the previous month high. They don't want to go up. Okay, so for today, maybe do not do anything. Let price do what it wants to do today, and by the close of today, then we can have a good idea whether it closed above or it didn't close above. It's gonna offer you a break anyway if it's gonna go down. So you look at this down candle. If it does close up below it, then I don't think it's gonna go up. It's gonna reject and go down. So you can use this down candle to frame a breaker trade. However, because the day has not closed yet, okay, it can come down, come back up and close. I don't want to see the daily close above this level. That's my framework of looking for lower prices, because if it does close above it, it's not good. Okay, so you can take a short after we break below this down candle and use it as a breaker to go down, right? Or wait for today to close, okay, and confirm that they have rejected this high. And if it does close today below, definitely it will give you that breaker, and then you can go short confidently that they've rejected the high, just like they rejected it here and then gave a breaker short to go down. They'll do the same thing. So if it rejects, it's going to give you a breaker entry here to go down. Okay, so if you're looking for lower prices, then you can do what I'm saying. Look for this to break. You can sell short or wait for price to close today. It will give you price not closing above this, and then you can sell short confidently, targeting this equal low. All right, so that is that. So let's jump back up to dollar CAD. So on dollar CAD, I'll say we still have the long trade idea that I gave from down here. Okay, we still have that running. So I said you can either keep it, because it's gonna probably go sideways until dollar decides to run a little bit up, and if it does, this will be the leadership. Okay, because CAD is relatively weak, this would be the stronger one to buy out of the dollar Swiss and the dollar yen. Okay, so we can still keep that long that I gave. If we close below that level, then it's not good on a daily basis. Dollar Swiss, Monday I gave you guys a sell from here, and target 1 was there and target 2 was there, and then look for lower prices. So that one is still playing out, so I don't think there's nothing that needs to be changed. Okay, I'm still looking for lower prices on that one. So let me see what it has done. Yeah, I think it's not a bad sell into that bearish order block. So if you didn't catch anything, then I think this is a good sell. A run above this high into the bearish order block. We have a divergence on my Williams percent R. We made a high that made a low above this high. Okay, so that could lead price to drop again. We do have equal low in here, so you could look for a sell on this one to continue going down. If you didn't catch the one we did on Monday, then this is the right time to get a sell. On dollar yen, I will start monitoring for a long idea from here. I'm not buying, as you can see here, but it's an indication I'm looking for a reason to go long in here. Okay, I'm looking for a reason to go long in here. So I'm looking at this high and that open as my framework. Okay, so I'm looking at that high and that open as my framework. So I'm watching these two levels to give me reasons to go long again. Okay, so this trade is not ready yet. Oh, what have I done? I have, oh, yeah, from Monday. I think I had this idea from Monday that this rally was just a fake rally and it could break, retest, and then continue going lower, and that's what it did from Tuesday. So that was Monday, rejection, break, retest, and then a price going lower. We've got to the level that I'm expecting, so I'll start looking for reasons to go long. So this idea is gone, and I think I had someone, I can't remember who, but I had a gentleman, we almost argued about pound yen. He didn't send me the he didn't send me the image. He said he was going to send me an image on pound yen, that pound yen was going up, and I said, yeah, it can, but I don't think it should. Yeah. Pound yen ended up not doing nothing. So since Monday, I said he was going to break this low and then drop, and he said it was going to go up, and it ended up doing none of that. So neither of us was right, and that's trading for you. Okay, neither of us was right. It stayed there dead. So back to this one, I'm looking for reasons to go long in here. So wherever is going to give me the breaking structure, I'll be looking for something similar like this. So I'll expect price to drop either here and then break, retest, and then I'll start looking for the long, or down here, maybe break, retest, and then I'll look for the long. Wherever it's going to give me, that's when I'm going to go for. So for now, it's just watching. Okay, so you can highlight that last down candle there, and then wait for something like that to happen, and then you can look for. You can also add the rejection because it's possible. Okay, the closing price of the down candle, you can add that. Okay, and let's leave this one as a daily low. Okay, right, so that's pound, dollar yen. Euro pound, I think Monday I was expecting price to come up here and then give us the rejection. It didn't do it. To continue going lower, I didn't do it. But our members had the privilege to use this as a breaker because we had the last down candle prior to all this move up, and then we broke it here. So we had the privilege to use this if we want. Okay, I'm not forcing it down everyone's throat, but if you want, then you could have used this as a sell to continue going lower. And our first target is this level, which is the down candle on the closure of the whole move to the upside, which is this high. Right, so that's what I'm expecting this to drop to. I also mentioned that in case we have any random news coming and then it runs higher. So if we have any random news coming and it runs higher, I'll still look to sell that one. Okay, because that will give me some sort of a run on stops into a high probability bearish order block with a low gap in there. Then I'll still look for a sell to come back down. Okay, so in case we do get any crazy, someone says something stupid and then they run price to the upside, then I'll look for a sell up here again and look for a continuation to the downside. So that is also possible if someone drops a bomb somewhere. But until then, we're still looking for price to keep dropping. Aussie, New Zealand. Now this pair has in some way giving me headache. One of the pairs that has given me headache this week. There's two pairs that has given me headache this week. This is one of them, and remember, I'm going to talk about CAD CHF. Alright, CAD CHF, we're going to talk about that. That's another pair that's giving me headache this week. Why did it give me headache? Well, because we did run this low, okay, and we had a rejection. So with that rejection, I was expecting price to come in here and then continue going lower, or at least get to this level and then continue going lower. It looked like it was at some point, so I got in. We've already checked the dollar. The dollar should continue going lower. Dollar should continue going lower for this 4-hour gap. Yeah, dollar should continue going lower for this 4-hour gap. So with that, we look for buys on the foreign currencies, and the ones to actually look for the buy will be the British pound, which is the one has got it's already going anyway from that down candle to that equal high, and then this one to attack that equal high on the 4-hour, and then this one also to give an optimal trade entry. So we've already been through that. Make sure you come in early, because these are the ones we go through first, right? And then I think euro, I also said euro to come up to this level as our second target. Hope that helps. Let's jump back to Aussie, New Zealand. Right, so what I was looking for on this was for price to come to the middle of this high and that low. So that is that red line. I was expecting price to pull back to the red line, and I had price retrace to the bullish order block on the daily. So this is the one. So on this pullback, I bought here this down candle with a stop below this, and I'm expecting price to come up here with a first target there, and then second target here, and then I'll leave the rest to see if we can get to the 50%. Okay, and it came back down, gave me an entry, rallied, I was happy, and then it just dropped, and then now this is where we are. So this one has given me headache this week, or I'll say yesterday gave me headache. So for now, I think it's gonna drop. I do have a monthly level in here, so I think this consolidation looks familiar. It's a consolidation leading price down into a monthly level, so they could hit this monthly level and then quickly run up. It's lining up with a scenario I have in my head. I always have scenarios in my head, so it's lining up with a scenario I have in my head, and I'll play that scenario to you now. Right, let me play that scenario I have in my head. So this is a monthly level. It's a down candle on the monthly. Let me show you. This one here. Okay, that's the down candle prior to the move up, the high. So that's the monthly level. Now, price failed to get to equilibrium, which is this high to that low. It failed to get there. So the scenario I'm having in my head is they left that on purpose. Okay, so anyone that was buying, they've been trapped. And then anyone that is selling is happy, right? That price is going to continue going down. So what might end up happening is they drop it to this level and then rally it back up again, and that will break this short-term high, right? That would break this short-term high, and that could start giving us maybe a turn in price for, because this is a monthly level, and monthly levels can turn price around because this is a daily downtrend. So because you have a daily downtrend, the monthly level could turn price around. So it could hit this, break that, and then you can start price going up, or it could hit this, go up, and then come back down here, because that's the monthly bullish order block open price. So it could do one of these scenarios, and the reason why I think it probably will do that is because by the time this gets here, okay, we would get New Zealand dollar to run this equal high, right? So once we run this equal high, it's allowed to go to pullback, right? It's allowed to go into a retracement. It's not a reversal, but it's a retracement. So once we run here, for this to go into a retracement, this could be weak because New Zealand, AUD, NZD, I'm looking at this. So for this to be weak, this needs to go up. So hitting this and going up will cause this to be weak, and that could cause this to go into a pullback, not a reversal, but a pullback. So that's the scenario I'm playing in my head. So I'm watching that. Okay, so for now I think it's gonna take out this low and hit the down candle on the okay, so I think it's gonna drop below this low and hit the down candle on the monthly. So that's the level to watch now going forward. We're about 23 pips, not a lot for me to risk any trade on that one, so I'll leave that. Okay, if you want, you can catch it. You can join in and let it drop with you, and then you can place your stop loss above this. You can place a stop loss above this candle's high, okay, the last up candle's high, and then just let it run to that level. Euro New Zealand, another trade. Another trade idea I had, I think it was on yesterday, but I didn't get the confidence to call it to sell short on so I didn't get the confidence to give it to my members to, okay, you can sell short, right? On a personal level, on a demo account, I did. Okay, so on a personal level, on a demo account, I did, to see if price will eventually go down. It's a high probability level, but I just didn't have the confidence in it to say, okay, you can sell short. So I'm not gonna claim that yes, I call this to go down. It's a level that I thought it should hold price, but I didn't get the confidence, so I decided to sell short on a demo account just to see if it would do that. But after breaking this low, okay, after breaking this low, that is a breaker. It just never get back. It never got back to it, okay, for the continuation to the downside. So that level is still there. In case it does come back up, you can still look for a sell to continue going lower. Okay, we've got to the first target, which was this equal low here, but in case it does pull back up, okay, you can use that breaker to sell short again to continue going lower. All right, this was the level that I was confident in to to say, okay, yes, we are at a level you can sell short. I was not confident in this one. So with that said, you can sell short if price gets up here because that's a breaker, and then look for continuation to the downside. Our downside objective is this one, this gap. That's our downside objective. So we can look for a sell to continue going down there. So if we pull back up, that's your trigger to sell short to continue going lower. We might get it from here. Okay, so watch this level. It's a 4-hour level. I like it. There's a gap, a down candle, and we rallied away from there. So we could get that bounce from that level back into the breaker. So you could look for something like this. You could look for something like this. Didn't quite get there, but you get the idea. To bounce from this down candle back to the breaker level and then back down again. Next one, pound New Zealand. This I'm not doing anything, but I do have this level that I like. So if we happen to run up here, you can use to sell short to come back down. So that's the only level I have on this. I don't like what it's doing. Why is it doing that? Because we have NZD strong and GBP strong, and to confirm that, I'll use this to show you. You don't need it, but you can use it to make sure you know. So NZD strong and GBP strong, so that's why they are not doing nothing. Okay, that's why this is not doing nothing. So the level to watch is up there. Okay, so that's the level to watch. Pound yen, I've already discussed this. It's not doing nothing. Why is it not doing nothing? I just showed you. Okay, pound yen, not much of a difference. Okay, not much of a difference, so you don't want to do anything on that either. So pound yen sideways, so stay away. New Zealand yen, is almost at the same level, but New Zealand is, to me, if you want to trade for this entire week, you want to focus on New Zealand pairs. Okay, you want to focus on New Zealand pairs. So I'm expecting a continuation to the upside. Let me show you this. So on the futures, okay, I'm expecting yen. I can't speak. I'm expecting yen to reach for this level, okay, and then give up and come back down again. Maybe not completely down, but I'm expecting some form of weakness up here. Right? So we're almost there. We are, but sorry, 13 pips away, and I think price has started giving signs of weakness here. So once we do hit this, I'm expecting it to, maybe some bad news or good news, whatever. I'm expecting some form of a weakness. Maybe someone will say something stupid, and then this will drop again, just like we had, I think, last week Monday. I'm expecting something similar. So watch that level, especially this mini down up candle in there. I'm expecting price to hit this and then reject. Once we do that, this will be the pair to be in, even though it started going up. So I gave this trade idea yesterday to my members to buy the daily down candle. So that's the daily down candle here. Okay, in anticipation of the weakness in yen coming. So this would be the pair to be in, New Zealand pair. Okay, so I'm expecting price to rally to take out, first of all, this equal high as our upside first target, and then this high, because we do have a gap and the down up candle in there, and then that one. And then for long term, we're looking for higher prices. Now I'm going to show you something I showed the members in the morning, comparing this to comparing this to Bitcoin. Okay, I still have Bitcoin there. So I want you to see something in here that probably will shock you, but it shouldn't shock you. Okay, this is Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, and this is New Zealand yen on the weekly time frame. And I want you to see how both of them traded and how Bitcoin has traded now. Okay, so we had price consolidate here, and then it rallied. Okay, and now with that rally, it dropped. Same thing, we had price consolidate here. Oh crap. It's gonna show itself. Alright, let's do this. Okay, I'm not gonna draw anything, but we had Bitcoin consolidate in here, rallied, and then dropped, right? And then this rejected, went sideways, and then popped up, retraced, and now we are here. Okay, so we had New Zealand yen consolidate, rally, dropped, come back up, consolidate, and now we're seeing that pop. Okay, so what I'm giving them is to look at that's why it look different. So what I'm giving them is to use this down movement on New Zealand yen and then multiply that or duplicate that into the upside. So you add the whole move from the down candle to the wick, duplicate that, put it on top of the high, and then look for that upside objective, just like I've done in here. Okay, so Bitcoin rallied and it's gone through that double of this down drop. You want to see the same thing on this happening. Okay, so we are targeting for long term. I think the projection is for March, April, May. For next year, March, April, May. Between February, March, April, May, that's what I'm expecting, basically. So this took roughly about from August, I'll say September. So September, October, November, 3 months to get up there. I'll be looking for a pullback, this pullback to happen on this one in January. Yeah, roughly around January. And then the rally to happen February, March, April, and then May. Keep us up there. So that's a long-term projection. So you want to keep an eye on that. Okay. So just to share with you guys. So back to the lower time frame, back to the real world. That one was fantasy. This is the real world. So now I'm expecting just this for now. So as I mentioned, you want to watch this, and once that happens, then you have a trade idea. Okay, Euro yen, Monday, this as a breaker, you want to sell short and then go down back here. That was what I'm looking for. I'm expecting price to reject, just like on New Zealand yen. So I'm gonna weigh out which one will be the best to buy. You cannot buy all of them. Not all of them is gonna rally. You want to look at the strongest one against the yen. So to me, the strongest one would be the New Zealand and probably pound. Okay, the pound and the New Zealand will be the one to be buying. So once we hit the last up candle on the yen futures, I think you want to look at this one, and that at the moment it might change. So you can use this. I can see it without looking at this. Okay, I can see it without using this website. But if you cannot see it, then by all means use this website and then use the performance to see which one is stronger, and then you can use that to trade with the yen. So I'm expecting yen to drop back down here, maybe there between euro and dollar. I'm expecting that to move there. So once it gets there, you want to find which one is up here, and then you want to trade it with the yen. Okay, but I'm already giving you New Zealand, right, and then pound. But you can choose by coming here maybe tomorrow or Friday. If you come here, you're gonna see whichever one is here. Probably Aussie will move up here, or Swiss will move up there. Then you just use that. All right. So that is that. And for me to be wrong, we need to come back down and take out this low. When we take out this low, then I'm wrong. So if you see price come back down here and take out this low, then I'm wrong. You want to sell short. Okay. But if it doesn't, then I'm right. Then you look for that. So the same thing applies to this. Okay. If we do get here, I'll be expecting some form of a rejection. Okay, but it's not going to be as bullish as you want it to be. So that's why I've given you this website. You can use it and see all the yen pairs. So Aussie yen, pound yen, New Zealand yen, euro yen, Swiss yen, CAD yen. You want to see which one is strong, and then you trade that particular one. Don't trade all of them. Okay, not because they are going to go up, so you're going to trade all of them. You can if you want to, but it's not ideal, right? So the same thing applies to this, but on this one, I'm expecting them to take out this low. Rejection. Style. Style. Okay. So on this, I'm expecting them to take out this low. As I mentioned on Monday, that you can sell short here. You can sell short here as the breaker, and then look for downside objective. Initially, I was looking for this gap, but they've gone through that. So next downside objective would be this equal lows here, right? Now once they take out that low, I'm expecting price to reject. So this is the level I'm watching, or basically the rejection block on the daily right here. Okay, I'm expecting price to take out this low, hit this, and then come back up again. So you want to have this level on your chart. Let's have a look on the weekly. It's disappeared. Let me draw that one. There it is. So they are same level. So you want to watch that level. Once you take out this low, I'm expecting price to reject and come back up again. Maybe not as, like I mentioned, not as strong as the other ones, but this will also give you a meaningful pullback. So watch this level if you can. Okay, if you're not scared to take a loss, you can do this with a stop below this wick, and then look for price to reject, and your first target will be here. Let's get rid of this. Okay, your first target will be there, so that will give you a decent 63 pips. That's not bad. Then second target will be let's go on the lower time frame, maybe here, right there. That's your second target because they did take out this high, so you want to make sure you've taken something off, and then you look at this equal high. So that consolidation there. Okay, so you want to look at this as your trade idea. Maybe Thursday, Friday, we could see this. Right, so that is that. I've already talked about Cardian, or actually not. Cardian, I like this level. I'm not expecting it to go all the way up there. Depends, but I'm not expecting it to do that. But at least it's gonna give a bounce. So again, use the Forex performance, okay, to look at the strength when it does happen. I'm just going for New Zealand and Pound Yen. If Pound Yen gives me an entry, then I'll use that. But at the moment, New Zealand Yen is the one that is clean in my point of view. So I'm going with New Zealand Yen now until one of these give me an entry or something that I can work with, right? So CAD Yen, you want to look at this level. You can bring your stop loss below this. I like peace of mind, so I leave mine just a little bit lower, below this low. Okay, you can leave it here if you want. Probably if it stops you at reject, then you can join in again. So that's the level I'm watching for price to reject. New Zealand CAD, another one. I don't know why I say that line when I get to this pair, because I said the same thing in the morning when I got to this pair. Right, so this is another one that I'm watching. You can, I think price has moved away significantly, but Monday we had price down here, and that's the level I gave for a trade idea to go for this gap. So first target is there, second target there, and then the daily, which is that gap. So this is a gap on the daily, that one there. upside objectives as well. So that's what I'm watching, or that's what I'm in now. So I've actually got 3 entries on this. So in the morning I mentioned that if you do get a pullback, I'll go in again, and we did. So in the morning I went in on the 15 minutes time frame retracement here. So I went in again there, in addition to the one I gave yesterday to the members, which is after this low was breached, and then price breached this down candle on the upside. So after they took out this low, price came back up and traded above this down candle, and then I went long again. Okay, so I'm long here, here, and there, and I'm still looking for those upside objectives. So this one as first one, and then that one as second one. We're almost there, not far away. 20 pips, 50 pips. I don't see retracement. If it does retrace, you want to jump in, then by all means do so, but we are looking for higher prices on this. Do I trade during the month of December? The first 2 weeks of December you can, or let me put it correctly. The first 2 weeks of December, yes. The last 2 weeks of December is just demo. You want to demo trade and watch price. In the past, I have traded throughout the whole year. I'm gonna be honest. In the past, I've traded throughout the whole year, so I don't break. I trade from January to December. Yeah, but as you grow in your understanding in price, then you want to kind of scale down in certain months. So personally, going forward, months like June, July, I will slow down, and then December I'll slow down, and probably January I'll slow down as well. So yes, in the past I've traded throughout the whole year. Last year I traded till I think the 3rd week of December. So last year I traded till the 3rd week of December, and I didn't trade until I think the 2nd week of January, or the 1st week of January. I think it was the 2nd week of January. That's when I started trading again. So going forward, that's how I'm going to trade. The more you get experience, the more you know which months are good for you, because there will be months that you'll probably encounter difficulty in trading. It's just normal. For me, this year was August. Yeah, August was a kind of a challenge. June and August was a challenging month for me. Okay, so between June, July, August, I might slow down, not completely not trade, but slow down, or probably cut down my risk. And then December, the 2nd week of December, that will be it. Then the 3rd week to end of the month, just observe price and demo trade. And then the first 2 weeks of the year, which is January, then you want to demo trade, and then after the 2nd week I can go back in and start trading again. Alright, so I'm expecting higher prices on this. On gold, what have I got here? Okay, I was talking about in the morning how I got stopped out, and there was a trader online that shared his trade idea on Twitter. He was looking for a buy, and I decided to plot it on my chart to see if he was right. and he ended up getting it wrong. So I was talking to my members about how there's no one that is 100% right in terms of trading. Okay, if someone tells you they are 100% right all the time, run. Okay, if anyone tells you that they are 100% right in trading, run, because they are really, really, really the highest form of lying. Okay, no one is 100% right. Now, 90%, yes, but they are rare. There are traders that will make 90% success rate, but they are rare. I mean, very rare. Okay, the average that I am aware of is between 60 and 70. Between 60% success rate and 70, you are fine. You're doing good. If you're doing 80%, you are very, very good. You're a very good trader. Okay. If you're doing 90, you are exceptional. Okay, 90 is exceptional, but the average or the good traders are always hitting 60 to 70. For you to be successful, you need at least 40%. If you are trading with a 40% success rate and you're always hitting more than 2 to 1, okay, if you're doing more than 2 to 1, then 40% is not great, but you are net profitable. Right? So how does that look like? Because that's the discussion I had in the morning with these numbers. So if you are, say, you do a 3 to 1, right, and you win 40 out of 100, and you're doing 3 to 1, 4 times 3 will give you 12, and because you are winning 40, definitely you're going to lose 60, right? So 60 will be 6. So you winning 12 and losing 6. So you end up being net positive 6. Okay. So 40% and you're doing 3 to 1, you end up being positive 6. Now, if you're doing 2 to 1 and you're winning 40%, that's 4 times 2, that's 8. And if you're losing 60, which is 6, you're still net positive 2. Okay, so even with a win rate of 40%, as long as you're doing 2 to 1, more than 1 to 1, 2 to 1, you'll be fine. Okay, you will be profitable. So if you are 50%, that's very good. If you're 60, wow, you are up there. Right, so you don't need to, you do not need to fear taking losses. So that was the discussion, the fear of taking losses, because many people are scared of taking losses, and because of that, it's hindering their growth in terms of being profitable. Because once they take a couple of losses, they become scared and they can't take a trade. So taking away the fear of taking losses is by looking at numbers, or by looking at trading this way. When you look at trading this way, it takes away that fear of being wrong. So on gold, I had no direction. So that was what I was talking to them about. I had no direction because buyers are being killed and sellers are being killed. So I have no bias at the moment. To me, it looks like he wants to drop, but it's just going sideways for now. So I'm not participating in anything. You can look for something in here. We do have a breaker, and this last up candle with that gap, you can look for a potential. But because we are sideways, this can also stop you out and then go higher. Okay, so it's just what I see, that we have a high, we broke down, we have a low gap in there. Let me throw in my I would love to see this up here. I'd love to see this up here and then have a divergence. So if I see this thing up here and that one is still a low and this one is here, that one is up there, that will give me confidence to go short. And another confluence that I have is this thing here. As long as we are below the 50 EMA, the 50 simple moving average, then that is also a good sign that we can drop. All right, and oil, as I mentioned, you want to wait and see what will happen here. Okay, let's see if they're going to close above it or not. So the down candle is what you're watching, this one here. If we break it, then tomorrow, or if we close below, tomorrow we break, you can use that to sell short to target these lows. Aussie CAD, we have reached our upside objective since down here. I think that was last week, Monday. That was the level I was watching, and we've gradually moved to that target. I'm expecting it to go up there, but on the 1 hour, we've broken this down candle, so that's a breaker, and then we've broken that up candle, so that's a breaker. So it's like we are stuck in between this high and that low. So I think price will go sideways a little bit, and then later on it will decide which direction it wants to go, but I think ideally it should continue going higher. Yep. Ideally, I think it should continue going higher. Why? Because of the daily time frame. Because the daily is still bullish, I think it should continue going higher. Okay, but it's just where we've got to is a high time frame level, so it can go sideways or should go higher. If we see it pull back down, then this will be the level I'll be watching. This down candle, I'll be watching that to see if it will give another reasons to go to the next upside objective. That will be it from myself. Let's check the trade we saw earlier. That's really nice right there, and targeting that high. That's a free 50 pips trade whilst we are doing this live. That's also another one, another one, another one. Any question? That's also good. We've just reached our target there. Any question anyone wants to ask? Where am I from? I'm in the UK. Originally I'm Ghanaian. I'm from Africa, Ghana, but I lived there for about 14 years, and then the rest of my life has been moving around Europe. I lived in Italy for 6 years, and I've been in the UK for the last 11 years. I've been in the UK for the last 11 years. So it depends. I'm Ghanaian, but I don't consider myself one because I don't remember. I don't remember much from that place. How long have I been trading? I've been trading for the last, so November is 6 years. I got introduced to the market. I got introduced to the market I got introduced to the market last 6 years, and the rest is history. Any other question from anyone? Anyone has got any question? Let's look at Bitcoin. How the Bitcoin brothers are doing. Right. We've got a pullback. Yep. I think 820k is still possible. I think they will. Price action looks like it's either they will engineer equal high, right? They might, because it's the first time Bitcoin has ever been at this level, and it's coming back up there again. Price does have memory, so they might engineer some form of an equal high, come back down as a pullback, and then go back and run that. Okay, so whether they do it up here or here makes no difference, because that will still be equal high. So I think they might take it higher and then not break this high. So they might take it up here and leave it there and come back down. And this will upset a lot of people, because they'll be expecting it to go higher, and buyers will be killed. All the sellers that are trying to sell because price sold off here, they will also be killed, because price will push higher a little bit more, and then ultimately come back down, maybe to rebalance this last down candle, and then scream for higher prices. So Bitcoin we are very high, way too high. Yeah, all the indicators are screaming oversold, overbought, sorry, overbought. Yeah, we've been overbought since October. This is when using indicators can sometimes hurt you. Like if you're using this as overbought and you're gonna sell short, well, good luck with that. Look where we are currently sitting, all the way up there. So if you're using this to say, okay, we are overbought, so I'm gonna sell short, then we went overbought again and nothing happened. We got a pullback in here, but ultimately we are still screaming up. There is times to use this indicator and there's times not to use them. Let's go into the monthly. To me, monthly overbought and oversold are real, because that is a huge difference. So monthly overbought, so oversold here is real. Monthly overbought there, right there, is also real. And now we are monthly overbought up there. That's oversold, overbought. Now we're up there. So we could see some form of a kind of a pullback, in my opinion, before we go up again. So Bitcoin brothers, make sure you've collapsed most of your trade. I just liquidated my position on the trade itself. Okay, this pullback, I don't like it, so I just liquidated my position on Bitcoin. Both the one invested on these platform like Coinbase. I use Coinbase. I've liquidated my position, and the actual trade I have with the broker, I've just done it because I don't like this pullback. Okay, so all those that are so long, make sure you do something about it. This, I didn't take any position on this, but I think they will leave this up here for now and then come back with a pullback. They might pull back inside the range, maybe back down here, before ultimately going back up again, right? Bitcoin is the father, so if the father is falling, they'll all fall. So this might pull back and then continue going higher. Same thing as that one. It's already coming down. I like this one to continue going higher from here, so you can watch that. Ripple, I like the equal high sitting up there, so you could look for a retracement inside the range. What range? I'll say this low to that high. Alright, you could look for that and then target that equal high. So if we do drop down, I think this gap is not bad area to consider that. I'll push my stop just there, and then I'll target that. Okay, so Ripple, you can look for this. Okay, give me 1 second. Literally. Give me 1 second, I'll do that. I want to look at this. I don't want to miss it. So we've just hit it. So let's see if you're gonna fall. Let's see if you're gonna fall. If you don't fall from there, your next level to what is this? One of them is going to call prices to reject. So you're looking at this. I like the way price consolidated in here. Accumulation, accumulation, accumulation. We will see something in there. All right, let's look at the intermarket analysis. Could you explain the relationship between DXY and bond? So when you say the bond in the bond futures, which one are you referring to? Because I had the confusion of looking at the bonds. So we do have two of them. Is it the yields or the bonds? Which one? You have to be specific on which one. So is it the bonds or the bonds? Let me put it, the bond yields. Is it these ones or that one? Yields. Okay, cool. It's exactly the way you're thinking. I don't know what you're thinking, but it's exactly the way you're thinking. Let me push this one here. Okay, what you're thinking is right. You want to look at this for your bullish, for your dollar direction. Okay, so, DXY chases or will go with these ones. So the direction of this is where DXY will go. Not all the time, but for your directions, or for you to know which direction DXY should be going, you can use the yields. So if yields are going up, then dollar will be going up. If the yields are dropping, then dollar will be dropping. Like I said, it's not always the case. Yes, it's not always the case, but let me go into a bit of a discussion. So you need to understand what the yields are. Yields it's like interest rate. So this is the dollar interest rate. If you're putting your money in the bank account, right, you look for what? Higher interest rates, right? You don't look for lower interest rate to put your money in the account. So if you're going to put your money in a bank account, you want higher interest rates, right? So that's the yield. Your money is going to yield you interest. So the yields, okay, is what the dollar follows. So if investors want to bring money into the States, they want to make sure that they are going to get interest, and they use this. So if this is going up, it means that they are going to get interest on dollar. If this is going down, it means no. So last week I used this as a reference because when do we have symmetrical price movement. So when I say symmetrical price movement, I'm talking about the market as a whole. So the market as a whole, okay, it's got moving parts, and I made reference to indices, commodities, currencies, and then the dollar. Okay, so the way they work is dollar should go down, or if dollar is going down, you want to see indices going up. Okay, and then you want to see commodities going up, and then the bonds, which is this one here, the yields, you want to see that one going down. When we have that, then we have a symmetrical price movement. Everything you touch will turn into gold. When one of them breaks, so let's say dollar is going down, this is going up, that one is going down, that one is going up, that is not symmetrical. Everything you touch has got red bomb. It's got a red bomb attached to it. It can go against you. Okay, so that's why I used this as a reference. But for you to use it for just dollar on its own, it's not as easy as, okay, this thing is going up, therefore dollar has to go up. It's not that easy. There has to be other elements to it before you can call this one up. I think there is accumulation going on and dollar will turn around. I don't believe dollar is gonna take out this low yet, until we get the results from the election, from the US election. Until we get that result, I don't think it's gonna move out from this low. So maybe they can take this low out and then hit this level and then still reject and come back inside the range. That's what I personally believe, and the yields are indicating that, because they are making higher highs. Okay, on the daily you can clearly see, okay, we made a high, low, and then a higher high. All of them did. Okay, so that's, to me, bullishness. It's an underlying bullishness for me on dollar. It's just that with the election, there hasn't been any declaration of who won and who lost. So if you don't have that, then that can upset everything. They could bring that results and then this one will just tank. Okay, this one will just do this, that would do that, that would do that, and DXY would just do that, if you get what I mean. Okay, so the results is everything now. Is that clear? Any other question? I didn't finish going through CHF pairs. This also was a trade idea I gave. I'm expecting higher prices. So it's a New Zealand pair, so it's obvious I'm expecting higher prices. I gave that yesterday to the members, and we've got to target 1, which is this level here. Target 2 is above this high, and then we look for let me push this one, so let me open a new one right there. So that's another target, and then the monthly. So this, is what we are targeting, and then the middle, which is the one I've just put there, this one. Let me put it on the monthly so you can show. Okay, that is the middle, and then there. So these are upside objectives on New Zealand Swiss. So if we do come back down and take out this low, then I'm wrong. Then you can look to sell to come back down here. Any other question from our members in the community? Any question from our members in the community? If not, then I think I'm done. I will see our YouTube friends on Monday at 2 p.m. and I will see members tomorrow morning at 9. Before I leave, I think I didn't go through the indices. Right. So indices, I don't have anything on these first 3 because I don't know what they want to do right now. I think they are waiting on something. But I do have the DAX 30 or the German 30. I do have these upside objectives on that one. On UK 100, it's deleted. Okay, I had a buy from here, a buy from there, which is basically the down candle on the daily. This one, the main threshold, down, a buy from there, and I'm targeting. Let's go into the daily, show you where I'm targeting that high, and then this one. Okay, so on the UK 100, that's the targets I'm watching, or that's what I'm looking for price to reach for. The IT 140, I'm looking at this as upside objectives. Let's go into the daily. So IT 40, I'm looking at this as upside objectives. They did accumulate again here. I think this is really bullish. Right, and then Frank 40, I'm looking for that as our near-term target, and then that one. So that is the end, friends. I will see you guys tomorrow and Monday. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care of yourselves and stay blessed.